What's up, folks? This is Daryl with Andalusia Armory.
Tracy Schmidt.
And Sean Carter.
And this is Shop Talk. What we got on the agenda today?
I don't know, but it's still pretty sunny out there. It seems like it's too early to be doing this.
Yeah, about time that the time's right again.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like having that extra hour in the evening.
Yeah.
Instead, just leave it that way.
I don't know. It kind of screwed me up yesterday. I kept looking outside. I judged the time by the sun, and I figured, well, I got plenty of time. I got one little job I want to get done. Next thing I know, I happened to look at the clock. I said, oh, shit, it's already 10 minutes past closing time, and I didn't even do that little job yet. It's sunny out.
Yeah, it's good stuff, that's for sure. So if you're listening on YouTube, you can stay on YouTube, or you can go to www.gunchannels.com/Andalusia Armory. You can sign up there. There's a nice little chat open for Q&A. If you got any firearm related questions or
Nothing's off the table. Politics, religion, what color socks you wore.
Yeah, let's try to quell down the politics. I'm about politicked out for this week already.
Well, I guess that depends on what part of politics you're talking about. I ain't talking about the damn primaries. I got some other things that cheesed me off this week.
Well, I guess coffee out of the Glock cup is just as good as out of the Deadpool cup.
There you go.
You know, it seems like it cools down a lot quicker in that Deadpool cup, though. I'm dead serious.
Well, dead, cold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a majestic.
Well, that was lame.
Womp, womp,
But
womp.
I think we probably got a few things we can talk about. There was something you wanted to talk about with hearing protection and do's and don'ts. And I mean, there's some stuff to.
How about some screwy stuff I think some U.S. sailors did, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves, even if they were following orders.
Well, there you go.
There's that.
Well, you remember back in January, Iran captured some of our sailors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just released they had electronic devices with them, laptops, GPS, maps, and Iran claims they were able to download over 13,000 pages of information off those devices. Now, when I was in the Navy, if we were about to be captured like that, yeah, we'd have been stepping on the laptop, pissing on it, and throwing it overboard. We wouldn't have allowed it to be captured. That's just a little strange. And not to mention that Iran just came out and said they now have a working U.S. copy drone. They got a lot of information real quick.
That's just because Iran loves us. You know what, though? Seriously, I do hope that Iran kind of goes back to the 1970s approach to life.
Oh, you mean when they before the religious leaders took over and they actually liked us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever looked at that. I seen something on Facebook. I think, Sean, were you the one that posted that Iranian magazine article? It was from like 76 or 77. It was showing it was like a springtime.
Oh yeah, they were wearing polyester
that thing
shirts.
where it showed like how they had fallen from where they were,
Yeah.
they were becoming like more Western, and then
Yep.
yeah. There's a lot of those articles out
Yeah.
there. That
They were wearing
posted a little while back.
yeah, they were wearing loud polyester shirts with wide collars.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it looked like. If you didn't know what it was, you would just think that it was
Someplace here.
Well, you would just think that it was a bunch of immigrants in a college somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, because. And
Yeah.
then,
Well, actually, it looked like Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the way they were dressed.
Well, Iran's always been kind of a progressive state in that area of the world. They like their computer devices. They like the West.
Oh, they like them a lot now.
Yeah. I mean, they're still that way, the younger people. One day they'll get back what they lost, I hope. And I hope it's not in a bloody way.
Nah. Maybe they'll chill out eventually. They seem like they could be civilized folks if they wanted to be.
They used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on just a second. We have got to get back to the hearing protection thing, Sean.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean besides the fact I need to wear it when I'm doing sound for the band?
You know what? That's seriously, man.
You probably do. Let me tell you, I have a perforated eardrum from way back, and I'm sure that the damage that I did to it, playing music and listening to loud music, probably did a lot of damage. And then on top of that, I used to shoot a lot without hearing protection. Half the time I didn't use it when I worked at the other gun shop.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
And then I never used it when we went hunting,
Well, hunting, I was always one shot and that's it.
Well, it's so dangerous to use it when you're hunting because, you can't hear other people. You can't hear the other hunters. So it's kind of dangerous to use it.
With that being said, there are some products out specifically geared toward hunters.
Yeah, well, there are and they're a lot better now than they used to be.
Yeah,
the ones where you have somewhat normal hearing, and then a bang will shut the valve. And those back in the day, they didn't work so well.
Yeah,
you still ended up having somewhat of ringing ears.
I got a decent pair, but man, they seem to chew the battery up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I imagine ones I had one set that was like I guess inertia or something because they had like a check ball.
Yeah, actually the actual concussion itself.
Yeah, it would actually close that valve off. Well, and they didn't use a battery.
Well, the nice thing about the new ones though, it works on limiting and compression circuit. Yeah. So I mean,
looks like we got a late.
Looks like we do. There's a person coming in. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Good. How are you doing? Hold on just a moment. I'm going to let you guys roll on to it.
Okay.
You go ahead and take care of that,
I was going to say we're going to have to put the hearing pro thing off because Daryl's not here now. Geez, let's see. What have I done lately? Well, I turned a few sow's ears into.
Yeah, I saw that on your Facebook feed where you what was that, a Lawson or a
Jennings 25 ACP, which is now reliable.
Yeah, and has a fresh coat of Duracoat.
Yep. and polished the sides.
Yeah,
it looks sharp.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
White steel with black.
Yeah.
And then I had a Jennings 9 that. Well, it's still got one issue, but we're pretty sure it's the one ammunition. The bullets are a little longer than standard 9mm, and it's causing some feed problems, but I'm going to get that ironed out too. You can take a cheap gun, and I say cheap just because they don't put the extra effort in to finish them right, like a Jennings, a Lawson or something, and you can make them reliable. It costs so much. You're better off spending $400 to $500 to begin with instead of $200 on a cheap gun and another $200 to $300 letting me play with it.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying, I mean, now again, I'm glad some of those cheap guns are out there because honestly, there are some folks that just can't afford to drop $500 on a new gun, and they have every right to self-defense, shooting sports and hunting as anybody else. But really some of these manufacturers, they need to step their game up just a tiny bit. They really shouldn't be selling guns that aren't reliable. I wonder what Daryl's doing out there in the back, because if it's gunsmith,
I don't know, but looks like that the something's up with the feed from YouTube.
Oh yeah, we started earlier tonight, so we could try to iron out all those issues because, we're still trying to get used to some of this stuff. But apparently we didn't iron them out, or at least not in time. We'll get this one day. And of course, it'll only happen one day and then it'll go back. And I really want to know what Daryl's doing.
I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, because I'm the gunsmith and Daryl's back there in my domain. Well, he's coming back. I guess I'll have to wait till later to find out. But we were on Hearing Pro,
Yeah, we were on here in Pro, and I believe we were getting to the part about the compression circuits and whatnot.
Just the YouTube. I don't know what the fuck's going on because
Oh,
YouTube said that we weren't even started.
Really?
Yeah, I went over to YouTube. The damn thing is right there. But
there we go. There's some editing. We're
shit's pissing me off.
lucky we ain't broadcasting on open FM, or we'd be racking up the dollar fines.
All right. It's Daryl Qualls of Andalusia Armory.
Tracy Schmidt.
Hey, Sean Carter.
It's a shop talk. And we thought we were live for what, a good 15 minutes?
Yeah, I forgot I was listening directly from the Hangouts feed on the monitor over here.
Oh.
So I didn't realize that the Gun Channels feed was not coming through. I don't know why, because I had the link from the YouTube feed in the Gun Channels.
Yeah, we started earlier tonight trying to be on time.
Yeah.
Looks like it just ain't meant to be.
I don't know what happened with that, because all I did was went back over to YouTube and grabbed the link again and put it back in. And this time it worked.
Okay. Well,
It could be our slow, nasty DSL.
it could be. I'll tell you what, though, it's a good thing. You know
It's
what?
still sunny as heck out, too, and it's after 6.
I'll tell you where I'm going to be with this. I want to go ahead and start out by saying we're a gunsmith shop here. We do retail. And we do sell a few guitars and, amplifiers and whatnot. Not a pawn shop, definitely. It's just a dual purpose, I guess. We sell loud shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to diversify. Relying on one thing for your income nowadays just ain't all that great.
Nah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, we had a customer come in late. That's fine. We don't mind that.
No.
But the thing is if you take your gun to a gun shop and we know it needs parts, especially parts, and when the gun shop tells you, or the gunsmith tells you, hey, man, we got to order these parts, don't go bug them 4 days later.
No, because I don't order the parts as soon as I find I need a part. Because if I do that, I got to charge you full shipping on it. So a $3 part is going to cost you about $9.95 shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're looking at a $15 part instead of a $5 part.
Indeed. And it's just and it's not one of them things. I guess it's a huge issue, but it's just I guess it's one of those deals where if you were to take your car to the Ford dealership and your engine was blue and they told you, hey man, this is a rare engine, we've got to order this thing.
Yeah, and we got to send some work out too, because we just don't do it here at the dealership.
Mm-hmm. Lovable.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably the only thing I don't really miss about.
Yeah. Well, I thought about adding a consultation fee every time someone asked me about their gun before I have it finished.
Oh yeah.
We used to have a sign hanging on the wall that
If we ain't called you, don't ask.
No, if you when you bring it in, it's like repairs is this much, and then if you watch, it's this much.
Yeah.
If you help,
Yeah.
and then the price triples.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it boils into.
Well, I've had plenty of people ask me if I could show them what I'm doing, and I'd be happy to. But I get $100 an hour as an instructor. That's on top of the $60 an hour for fixing the gun.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the little AR stuff that I just run back there and do for people. And they're all the time like, dude, can I watch? Because I really want to learn how to do them. Like, first off, our insurance is going to crap the bed
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First off, for somebody being back there in the workroom.
Yeah. Just like the Ford dealer, they won't let you in the service bay.
Yeah. And the secondly, what would take me 10 minutes to do back there, if they're sitting there and they're doing this right here, they're rambling on about this, that's going to take an hour. And then I'm going to be like,
at $100 an hour, you just sit and let them ramble.
yeah. They do it to Tracy all the time.
It's hard to tell people that too without coming off like you're,
Yeah.
No, we're dicks. We have to put up with it enough. We're dicks.
Well, we know that, but
But yeah.
And I think every distributor and vendor that has talked to Daryl knows that as well.
Well, just the ones that advertise lots of product and say it's going to be on the market when, and it's not.
Yeah. I think Remington hated us last year.
Yeah. Well, I think we got someone just south of us that probably doesn't appreciate us sometimes.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I got them this morning. Well, I didn't get them bad this morning though. You know what I mean?
Before.
No, I had
yeah.
before, but today, the reason I didn't though was because they started saying something that wasn't true, and I called them out on. I was like, no, I just spoke to the third party involved, and they're like, oh well. Like, thank you.
Yeah, we do our homework a little bit around
Yeah.
here. We're not afraid to call manufacturers. and
No, we're not afraid to go visit them.
Yeah, we have done
You know,
that. Yeah, hey, we're in the area. You mind if we come in?
Yeah, and get to see what's going on. But when Remington was doing the R51,
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
We had some on order, I thought.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
several times. But the thing is I called them and I told the woman, I said, look, I'm recording this. She goes, okay. I said, I want to talk about the pistol. And we had about a 20-minute conversation. And what it boiled down to is I didn't know any more than I knew to start with. And she knew more than she knew when she got on the phone. You know, so, and I think people, if they want to listen to that phone call, they can go back through our Facebook thing, and it's on a video in our Facebook. It's pretty funny. As a matter of fact, it's very, very funny.
Yeah.
But we were talking about ear protection.
Us old timers that really never used it, and now we kind of wish we had.
We hear constantly.
Or as soon as 3 shotgun shells go off, I start getting a headache.
Or everything sounds like you have a voice coil
Oh, yeah.
busted in a speaker.
Yeah.
My right ear has been
Yeah.
that way for years, because especially if I get more than one noise going, if a lot of people start talking, it's like it almost cancels everything out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can't hear anything out of that ear.
And just a little bit of reference where all of our ears are coming from. All of us has got a history in playing guitar or doing sound or something in a band atmosphere. And we're all into music, listening to it. And at some point we've listened to our headphones because we know what a real set of headphones is, really loud.
Yeah.
And then shooting. And we were talking about hunting.
Yeah.
And the new compression drivers that you can get.
Yeah. And see, back in the day, you didn't really, best you could do was the ones
Manual
that didn't
valves.
really even, they didn't really even activate until most
Part of
that
the blast
noise
got
was already,
in. Yeah.
You caught half of the blast in your ears anyway.
And that's the big
And-
thing is the initial
Yeah.
pop
Yeah.
from a blast.
And they just didn't do that much good anyway.
Yeah.
And, it's always been more of a safety concern of being able to hear around you. So, and those were the best you could do back then. Was the ones that would take some of it off.
As
so
the
that you
range
could
safety officer
hear
for
normal.
my club, I always only wore one earplug so I could keep an ear out for things around me on the range. And I finally went to a pair of battery operated muffs that cut out. But my goodness, I'd use them one night, go grab them the next night. Halfway through the night, the battery would get weak enough that I either couldn't hear anything or they didn't cut anything out.
Well, the other problem with that stuff is even the new ones that you work on the compression and limiting circuit, they take out the stereoscopic field. You don't so much know what's coming out the left ear and right ear because the little mics that are in there, they first off, they don't really pick up the low end very much at all.
Yeah.
And the way our tracking with our ears work, it works off low end and high end frequencies at the same time.
Yeah.
It kind of, I guess
it takes one
confuses.
longer to travel to the other ear than it does the other.
Yeah. So we get that stereoscopic field, and that's basically you can think of it like you can close one ear and you can't really tell if somebody's standing right beside you or right behind you. You can't tell if they're biased to left or right. Or
It's like listening to a good album on a set of mono headphones.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm on right now, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, mine didn't so much the stereoscopic work because it had one mic on each ear.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't too bad, really.
Even with that being said,
it wasn't great.
No, it isn't great, and it does take away some of the, I guess, like you were talking about, the safety issues.
Yeah,
but not as much.
Yeah,
I would suggest using them if you can.
Yeah. Well, the newer stuff is a lot better. I mean,
I need to upgrade.
It uses like a combination of different methods of canceling out the sound and of allowing you to still hear the noises around you. And so it doesn't muffle that down quite so much, so you don't quite feel like the old stuff. Well, yeah, you kind of got this.
I'm in a box.
Yeah, you almost like you were in a box.
Yeah.
And so you didn't have that awareness.
Well,
you really need to have, especially if you're in a situation where there are a lot of hunters,
or on a firing line where you're training young kids. 8 to 15 years old, and most of them never touched a gun before.
Yeah.
You need to know what those 12 and 13-year-olds are doing behind you.
Well, I'm thinking what needs to happen. I'm probably going to say something right now that I should probably do myself instead of telling the whole damn world. But what needs to happen is these in-ears and these muffs that are electronic, what they need to do is they need to put some bias knobs in there so you can control the lows to highs, and so you can control the volume in left or right.
That would probably work better on the muffs than the in-ears. But
well, it would work good on the in-ears too, because the in-ears now are where the muffs were, say, 10 years ago, and that ain't real bad.
I'm just trying to think, man, those in-ears. I'm putting my finger up there trying to adjust it while it's in my ear.
Well, no, usually you'll have a little set of jeweler screwdrivers. You'll have two very, very micro centimeters.
So I have to adjust it, put it in my ear, and say, "Oh, not quite, a little more."
Yeah.
Because the big thing is, man, when we're talking, a lot of people don't understand this, and a lot of people do understand it, just don't know they understand it. Like the bone mics.
Yeah.
The way that works is the reason it sounds so weird. Yeah, it's coming off.
Body resonates. Yeah.
It's
coming off.
And if you've got muffs on that have mics in them, your jaw is transmitting. Not only are you getting what's coming out of your mouth, you're also
whatever vibrations your
body comes through your jaw. So that's what gives you that boxy sound. And not only does your own voice do it, but near frequencies do too.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what causes that boxy sound, and you could kind of get away with that with some kind of adjustments.
Yeah.
Champion may need to get on that, or somebody,
Champion ought to get up with who's a high-end maker of stereo headsets for music.
The Sennheiser.
Yeah, Champion and Sennheiser. You need to get together.
Well, the main thing is that these days, I guess a lot of people that are into shooting sports are a little more
proactive with ear and eye.
They are a little better about it than they used to be.
More educated on it.
But a lot of people still aren't. Yeah. I mean, you see a lot about it because people are so militant about stuff like that. Because it's like anything else. It's like you see somebody that posts a picture of themselves shooting, and everybody loses their mind because their finger was on the trigger.
Yeah,
and they were mid-shot when somebody took the picture of them.
Oh, yeah.
They were actually shooting that gun.
Yeah.
That's why their finger was on the trigger. But people get militant about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just the nature of the internet. People like to do things like that.
Yeah.
They see something and
But yet they'll go out and they'll put 45 ACP in their ear.
for earplugs.
By the way, that's an old timers thing. Generally, guys that were in the military back in the day, 60s, 70s, and before.
Yeah, don't use 45 ACP for ear pro.
It don't really work.
Don't use cotton for ear pro.
Yeah, that's a last ditch thing.
Yeah,
if that's all you got.
Cigarette butt.
Cigarette butts. I saw somebody at the range one time with cigarette butts.
I've done it.
That does nothing.
Yeah, it's absolutely useless.
So check this out. You know what, man? I'd like to explain why it does nothing, because somebody just said yes, it does. Here's the explanation of it. No, I'm just saying. I
Yeah.
promise you.
Oh, yeah,
They may
someone
not be
else,
listening
yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
but somebody will listen to YouTube. It may be 4 years from now. They'll say, "Yes, it
It
does."
sounds like it does, but it don't.
It doesn't, because we're talking about. I don't guess people understand that the sounds are actual percussive waves.
Yeah, it
that
may
hits,
muffle a
blast
little of what
wave.
you hear,
but it
but that
doesn't stop the
concussion-
blast.
yeah, you're still getting that concussion. That
Mhm.
concussion is what it is that's doing the damage to your ear.
Mhm.
That's what it is that makes you end up with
Yeah.
perforated eardrum.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what messes up your
And you
hearing
wanna
in
know
the
the-
long run.
You want to
Mhm.
know the biggest offender of hearing problems? 22 long rifle. Believe it or not, it's people don't think of it much, but a 22 will do more damage to your ear than a 12 gauge shotgun. It's because of the frequency. High frequencies are the first to go in your hearing, the first to be damaged.
Well-
and a 22 is a very high frequency.
Well, now
round.
hold on just a second. That depends on what you're listening to. Because if you're in a certain industries over there in Andalusia, Alabama, the low end resonant frequencies.
Oh,
if you're exposed to that,
Yeah.
those low end frequencies would go first.
Yeah.
And the big thing with tinnitus too, a lot of people don't know this. That tone that you hear,
Yeah.
that's a ghosted tone.
That's the frequency
Yeah.
you lost.
That's the one you lost.
Yes.
And like
That-
with me, I played
See,
bass
that's
guitar.
another thing that fed into my hearing loss in my right ear is that very same
end.
manufacturing
Yeah.
facility that you're talking about, because I worked there for several years
Yeah.
and did not properly use my hearing protection when I was there because
Yeah, because it doesn't sound that loud, but it's consistent
yeah.
volume.
Plus
stuff.
the fact
Well,
that we had several different kinds that we could use out there.
Yeah.
And there was one specific one that fit me really well.
And you liked it better because
Apparently everybody else did too, because every time
Yeah.
it came time to, because when they started getting a little ragged, you go and replace them, and a lot of times I would end up having to get the little spongy ones or the ones that were too small or too big
Yeah.
in the rubber ones. And so until we got more in of the ones that actually fit.
Yeah, if they're not comfortable,
Yeah.
you're not going to wear them long. The other problem with Ear Pro, especially muffs, I can't stand them when it's hot out.
Yeah.
I mean, I get hot enough. I don't need something holding the heat in.
I'm there
Yeah.
right now with these headphones.
Yeah, that's why I keep taking those off, because they're
I'm trying to keep these on just in case something happens here.
Just in case one of us feeds back badly.
You know what, too, man? Another thing that people do not take into consideration. I see them, smaller children, and I've got nieces, nephews, and kids that range from preteen all the way down to 5 years old. You cannot use the same earplug for yourself as
Yeah.
you do your children. Your children's ears are too
smaller.
small.
Yes.
And they will push those
Yeah.
earplugs out.
Yep. Even
Well,
the ones you
also-
roll up.
if
Yeah.
also if they're too big, you can push
Mhm.
wax,
Wax.
because
yeah.
you've always got a little bit of wax in your
Yeah.
ear,
Keep and
and
if
you
if they're-
need a little bit
Yeah.
in there, because when
Yeah.
you clean your ears out, you need to leave a little in there.
Yeah.
And your ear protection can cause problems with that.
Yeah.
especially if
If
you're
you're
using it daily
Yeah,
and stuff.
That's one
Mhm.
thing that I think a lot of people fail to realize about hearing protection is the fact that when you use it and you're not, it goes in like a hygiene issue, I guess.
Yeah, if you're using
But-
reusable earplugs, you need to wash them every now
Oh
and
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Hot soapy water.
But the fact of pushing the
Dirt
wax
and
into
wax
your
in
ears,
and
because
eventually
that can
compressing
also
it.
eventually lead to hearing problems.
Yeah.
And it's something that I don't want to get into it because I don't really know enough about it, other than the fact that I know that you push wax and debris on into your ear.
Yeah.
But
Well, that was
it's
one-
something you need to be mindful of.
Daryl's talking
But-
about size in the Navy. They actually measure your ear canal
yeah,
and give you Ear Pro fit for that size range.
yeah,
You can go to the hearing doctor and they'll do the same for your kids. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
it costs just a little bit. It costs a lot more than what, say, the pair at the gun shop is going to cost, but they're going to fit and work better.
Yeah. And the other thing is too, it isn't just earplugs, but the like the Champion
Headsets.
headsets.
They actually make youth.
They sure do, and you need to get them for your kids. If you put the
Remington makes a real comfy pair. Well, they used to.
yeah,
And
There's a lot of companies doing. We're not just pushing Champion because of one reason or
That's why I
another.
mentioned Remington. I don't know who was
Yeah.
making them for them, but they were slimline too, so they didn't get in the way of the stock. They
Oh,
had a
yeah.
cutout for them. Yeah. It was great when I was teaching the Boy Scouts.
Yeah. Your adult ones are too big because they'll go over the ears, yeah, but then they'll have spaces on the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, their little heads ain't big enough yet.
Nah. Not
And,
at
and
all.
they might not squeeze tight enough either to get a good seal, because you need that air seal really if you're using headphones, because it's a concussion blast wave, not just a sound.
But yeah, if you're on stage, you need ear protection. If you're shooting your gun, you need ear protection. I mean, period. Eye protection too. We ain't talking nothing about eye protection.
Yeah,
but
we
that needs to happen
haven't
too.
mentioned anything about eye protection, but that's also not just for the fact of
You ain't got but two of them.
Yeah.
And they got to last you your life.
It's just common sense. I mean, there's something at some point is going to go sideways somewhere when you're shooting.
And the more you shoot, the more likely you're to be around.
I
some of
mean,
those
I've
incidents.
had pistols that would clock you in the forehead with brass. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I used to have
or the guy next to you is throwing brass down your shirt.
Well, there's that too. But
Oops.
I had back in the day, I had a Llama Minimax 45, little subcompact 45, 1911 style.
Yep.
And until I retuned the ejector and extractor on that thing so that it would throw it
to the
different.
side a little.
Yeah. It threw it perfectly to hit you right between the eyes every shot.
That can add to a flinch.
Eventually I did get it tuned to where it would throw it sort of to my side. But to begin with, it would throw it just straight every shot right in the forehead.
Well, what a lot of people don't, and I've seen this at hunting camps and summer homes and stuff, and even on some private rod and gun club ranges. They got their 5 or 6 year old out there shooting a cricket or a chipmunk. And that's great. The guns are sized for them. It's only a 22. And yeah, they might have the ear probe, but they don't have eye probe, because again, eye probe is something that's size dependent.
Yeah.
And you got a 5 or 6 year old, their heads are small. Well, those crickets, those chipmunks, first of all, 22s are dirty. Second of all, those chipmunks and crickets, you know what, get your kid a decent rifle, even if you got to have the stock cut down or something. Because they blow back a lot. You'd be surprised the blowback you get on them. I have worked on a few of them and had to test fire them, and my cheeks were not just, I had iPro on, and my cheeks were getting powder burn.
Old Stevens bolt action rifles do
And
that as well,
and
which is it's pretty much the same lockup system.
Well, you want to teach a kid to hate shooting, let him get powder burns on his cheek. Want to give him a flinch, let him get powder burns on his cheek.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
Well, a lot of them, it's fairly mild. You don't realize it unless you sit there and shoot a box of ammo through it, and then you got a black spot.
Yeah. You don't even feel it.
You got a black spot on the side of your face,
or you got a beard and you go home and
day.
you wash your face and you wonder why the rag's so dirty when you didn't do much.
Well, it's the same thing with pistols too. Revolvers are, especially some of the cheaper ones. They're notorious for it.
Yep.
And the 22 target pistols, a lot of them will throw brass in your face.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're not just railing on particular products, and it's not just us talking out our butts. We've all got a lot of experience.
That's why I didn't really
with these
mention
things.
any brands. I just said
I mentioned brands.
Target pistols.
I mentioned brands because there are things they can do to the bolt to solve that problem, and it's not expensive. And guess what? After I worked on a couple and got my cheeks burnt, I quit selling them. I carried other products that were sized or could be sized
or incomparable to price too.
Yes. Actually the one was, when you look at what you got, was better price.
Yeah, and that's the big thing too. And we are that gun shop that just absolutely refuses to sell certain things.
Yes.
I mean, people are like, why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? Because we won't own it.
Yeah. Now, every now and again, there might be something in the shelf, but it's used. It was traded in.
Yeah, and we went through it.
And yeah, we've worked on it a little.
And yeah,
and we're satisfied that it's reliable enough. It's not something that we would carry ourselves probably still, but if that's all we had, we wouldn't be afraid of it.
a cigarette. He's making a lot of noise here. Chakut. Let's see. What else we got, Sean?
Well, we could talk about that salesman that cheesed us off yesterday.
You know what?
I
think we need to.
Yeah. you know, the
y'all liable to.
Door-to-door salesmen are starting to become an extinction and have been for a long time.
Let's just not mention the brand right this second.
Yeah.
But they can go to our Facebook page and find that out.
But you still have like the Kirby guy going around or the Fuller Brush guy. You know, the Kirby guy for the vacuums, you know, they'd come in, they'd talk to you and they go, well, you mind if I demonstrate? And they'd put dirt on your floor. Well, this old boy the other day, he come in with a cleaning product and didn't ask. And before we let him know we weren't interested, because we actually had the product
several cases of it
in stock, started dumping wet sand on our carpet. We didn't notice it. And we know it was dumped there because it wasn't ground in and it was wet. Our parking lot is bone dry, has been for the past 4 or 5 days. Dust is blowing when a 3 mile an hour breeze kicks up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's not a whole lot of dirt out there to start with.
No, there's not. Not right there.
Way out there.
Yeah. You actually have to get in the driveway part to get the dirt. Where you park, it's usually grass.
I think the big thing there, if you are a door-to-door salesman, please ask before you dump the wet dirt on the ground. And you know what, man? And we were talking about this. We really don't mind it.
Yeah.
But after we said we already got the product in stock, he just kind of left. And it really wasn't even that guy that made us mad. It was
his boss,
the owner of the company.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He really got, I actually just had to quit.
Yeah. We told him just don't come in. We cleaned it and all that. Speaking of cleaner, you know what I did today? I gave away my last personal bottle of Slip 2000 today, and I'm not very happy about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Well, the dude come in and bought an AR.
Yeah.
You know, and I went ahead and oiled it real good for him and whatnot. And then,
it was dry.
Yeah. I was like, here, dude, take it with you. And didn't.
You're going to need it for break-in.
Yeah. So I've got to go buy another one off the shelf.
Was that the guy that bought the 10.5 inch?
Yeah.
Sounds like we need to put an order in again.
Yeah, we do. Man, I like that oil, dude.
Yeah,
I really do like that oil.
Yeah. I haven't personally been playing with the Slip 2000 yet. I got one I prefer.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got that thing they prefer for different reasons.
Yeah.
Now, you got to admit, though, the grease, that heavy grease.
Yeah. That is nice.
Have you tried that stuff yet? It's
I
nice.
tried the heavy grease.
And it's a good price, too, man. It's good stuff. Which now that
Now I don't use it much because I still got a lot of Molly grease in my container on my bench. But
what is it? Is it the Winchester gun wash? And then the gun wash is real good for
the gun wash, man. I mean, if you need a quick clean your gun, just want to blast it out on the range before you get home. But now you got to remember, use this gun wash. You're taking every bit of grease and oil off of that gun. I mean, it will.
Yeah, it'll be bone dry.
It'll be bone dry and start to rust within 10 minutes.
But
or
thankfully,
less.
there's gun cleaner that has the lubricant in it.
I'm not so sold on their gun cleaner.
Well, me either, but it's good to hit at the range. You know
Make
what I
sure
mean?
when you
Yeah,
use
it's-
that gun wash that you're also using eye protection.
Yes, yeah.
You don't want to do like Jason.
Yeah.
You can skip the iPro while you're shooting, but I'm telling you, with this gun wash, you don't want it. Even with iPro, 2 out of 10 times, it's gonna find a way around it.
Well, now Rude hooked us up with the anti-chemical iPro over there.
Yeah, it's got the little
foam
around
strips
here.
around it. Yeah, I mean, you really need goggles when you use this
Yeah.
stuff, because if it gets in your eye, you are gonna swear you're gonna be blind.
Yeah.
They just need to take that stuff and add some
Pepper
spray
spray
in
and
it.
dye marker.
and just leave it in there.
Another thing, y'all don't know it because you can't see me, but I'm in a wheelchair. I haven't always been. When I first got in my chair, I had this habit of I'd use a rag and I'd toss it in my lap. You know, it's handy, it's there.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't on my bench in the way. Well, I'd use the gun wash and some of that be on the rag. I toss it in my lap. Well, I tell you what, there's another spot you want to guard with that gun wash. Because Bengay and the old jockstrap has nothing on the gun wash.
Yeah.
I'm talking just the fumes from the rag in my lap lit me up.
Well, how about,
And Jason got a good crotch
Yeah.
full too off a gun splash. Yeah.
yeah, well, I think it looked like he just poured it all over him. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, he shot himself a lot with it before he knew what it might do. Yeah. He's real careful now with it. He about dropped drawer in the shop so he could run home naked to shower.
Oh yeah. So we have our live chat thing going on gun channels. If you're listening on Facebook or YouTube and you got a question, you can go to www.gunchannels.com/Andalusia Armory and tell them how to find it if they don't go to the Andalusia Armory page.
Oh yeah, if you just go to gunchannels.com, you can go to the upper left-hand corner, and there is a featured channels slideshow that goes through all the featured channels, and you can find us in there as well.
So yeah, this is a good little place. There's a bunch of cool stuff going on there. Messages.
Yeah, thank you for muting me, Daryl.
Yeah. We need to get us some of those little cough drop things.
Yeah,
Let's see. I was trying to see.
yeah, I've been having to run over here in the corner to cough.
Yep.
Time to
Our
time.
allergies are getting our sinuses quite full right now. We got pine trees, we got dogwoods, we got pear trees, you name it, and I think it's in bloom right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
all at once.
By the way, I'd just like to say, John Barry, I turned the phone off just because of that comment. Nobody can call in now. But yeah, so let's see. We were in Tupelo, Mississippi last weekend.
Yeah, for another Friends of the NRA banquet.
We got to bring Sean to the next one.
And when is the next one?
I believe I don't have my calendar. Hand me my
What
calendar.
screws me up is I have to work on weekends. So,
Right there. There you go. Let me see real quick.
Good, that's easier than me trying to pull mine out and get it back.
Let's see. I think the next place that we're actually playing is not going to be an NRA event. I think it's going to be Old Porter Fish House on April 7th.
Yeah.
And then the next
NRA?
looks like NRA in Mobile.
Mobile. Okay, yep.
yeah, that's in April, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
The end
April
of April.
28th.
Yeah,
April
toward the end,
28th.
What day
yeah.
is that on?
It's what's a Thursday?
It's a
It's a
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that screwed up because even with my cut hours and stuff, I'm still
Yeah.
working on Thursdays.
Yeah.
So
Looks
Yeah,
like-
it was nice there in Tupelo. We had a senator stop by and address
Chad McMahon.
Chad McMahon.
Yeah, he seemed like a pretty good dude. I mean, he was cool. He was
Yeah.
real cool.
The governor was planning on being there, but with all those storms and stuff coming through, he had some other pressing business. I
Yeah,
guess.
probably
And
so.
I'm not going to blame him. You know, you're the governor, you're the head man. Everything falls in their lap. So.
But yeah, they they had another one of those the Ruger Performance Precision Rifles, bolt action
Yes.
308.
oh yeah,
And
Yeah.
it went for a nice price too.
Yeah,
And
hey
I-
man,
when I
somebody
say
got a
nice, I
deal.
don't mean high.
Yeah.
They got a great deal. You can't find those guns.
No, we can't order it
Yeah.
from nowhere. But they had that. They always have cool stuff. They'll have revolvers. They had a 41 Magnum Ruger
Single
revolver.
action. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was a nice.
It was, man. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, the Henry was nice.
Oh, the Henry's gorgeous. I got permission from my wife. I can pull my credit card out and bid on the Henry. Now all I got to do is decide, because I really need to get her a new vehicle, and $800 to $1,000 on a rifle would go a long way toward her new vehicle.
Yeah. But how do you pick between a nice
I know.
heavily engraved Henry?
Dual color, yeah. Yeah, I really want one because I already have an NRA Henry from quite a few years ago, and it would
It'd
be
be a
not,
nice matching pair.
well, it wouldn't match, but it'd be a nice addition.
Wait, your other one's a golden boy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a
the
silver, boy.
boy. I know. That's why I said it'd be a nice silver boy with some gold inlay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that was
was
pretty.
yeah.
Man, their food's good too.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Yep.
good stuff. If you're not a member of the NRA, you can go to their website. and you can put NRA in Google or Yahoo or Bing or whatever search you want to, and it's going to
All
show
kinds
you.
of stuff come up. But
Yeah.
Friends of the NRA you can put in too.
Mhm.
And for those of you who might not know, Friends of the NRA is committees, chapters, whether it be county or regional. They only do one thing. They raise money for shooting programs. They usually only have one fundraiser, and that is their annual banquet. Half of the money they raise at the banquet goes to the national level for shooting programs. The other half comes right back to that banquet committee, and local groups like High School Rodeo Association has a shooting program. If a local high school has a shooting program, or if a local rod and gun club wants to start a youth shooting program or maybe a woman's program, they can apply to the banquet committee for a grant, not a loan, a grant. They get money for free. And that money stays local that way. It's a great way to get things up and going in the community, keep things going.
Well, the cool thing about the banquets is too, if you're even with that aside, if you have some money squirreled away and you're going to buy a new gun for your collection,
Sometimes you can make a deal.
yeah, go to the banquet.
Yeah.
There's some nice stuff. I mean, seriously, collectible grade stuff on there.
Yeah, like a Remington anniversary model.
Oh yeah,
870.
what was it, 200-year anniversary? I think
Something
870,
like that.
and
yeah.
you could buy it there before you could even get it from
Yeah,
Remington.
Remington
Yeah,
hasn't even got theirs out yet, but the same company is going to do them for Remington, and the prototypes for Remington aren't as nice as
No.
what the NRA had made. And quite honestly, like we were talking about that Henry, that's easy. What, $1,200 to $1,500 Henry if you was to buy it?
Oh yeah, engraved like that. Yeah,
And you know, not saying now you might go to the banquet and it might end up being $2,500 bid on that,
or it could be
thing.
$500.
Or it could be
bid.
$500 or $600 bid, and you done made out right then and there. I mean, you can never tell in a live auction what's
Yeah, it
going to
just
go and
depends on
what's
where
not,
you are
And who-
what kind of audience there is.
who
there.
wants
Mhm.
what,
Yeah.
and sometimes people do get carried away at an auction. And yeah, if you're at an auction, yeah, don't scratch.
Nope, just
Nope.
stay
Yeah.
still.
There was a woman at our table. Yep, she made some. She got she was speaking with her hands.
Mhm.
Yep, and guess what? She got a cricket for
Oh, yeah.
$300.
A $300 cricket.
A $300 cricket.
Yep. What's going on over at Gun Channels?
Oh, looks like they're mostly just talking amongst themselves.
Okay. Well, you know
A
what?
few comments about some of the stuff we're talking about, just kind of throwing in comments on it.
Any troll
Personal
yet?
Experiences.
Cool.
Hey, look, after the
I don't think
salesman-
most of the resident Gun Channel trolls, I don't think they've woken up yet.
I was gonna say, after the incident yesterday and what I seen today in the news, yeah, I'm ready to just unload on someone. So if we get a troll, let me know.
Well, the cool thing, like Sean was just saying, go ahead and go to Gun Channels, become a member for free. And the cool thing is, just like what's going on, we're over here talking about this. These guys are listening, but then they're talking about things amongst themselves. So even if you're not really caught up in
Yeah.
what we're talking about, you can make some really good,
Yeah,
firearm related
also,
friends.
there's-
If you just need some background noise.
There's a chat going on all the time over there.
Yeah.
There's a text chat always going on, and there's always people hanging out in it. And it's the text chat is just like the old chat rooms back in the day. It's just a text-based chat room. And then on top of that, there's a lot of times there's a Google Hangout chat room, the lobby chat that I don't know how many times a day they start those things up, but they last 8 hours or until the host leaves and
Yeah.
closes it down.
Yeah.
So there's
It's good fun.
I guess it's great, being being the old man of the bunch, you know, I'm used to when you talk about a chat room, I'm thinking the barber shop,
Well, that's kind of what
the
this is
corner,
right here.
the old
It's-
corner store
yeah.
where you bought nickel candies and penny candies,
That's
but
what this
but
is.
that was just in your neighborhood. This allows guys across the country to get involved.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nice because the more people you got involved, the more likely you are to come up with the right answers or the right solutions or ideas.
or
Yeah.
several right
Or
answers.
several
Yeah.
right answers. There's a lot of things where you come up with everybody has a different answer and they're all right a lot of times.
Who all was on tonight? What else going on?
Oh, you mean after us?
Yeah.
Or right now with no
Or after?
after, yeah.
I'm not real sure who I was on tonight because I don't know. I know G-Webs was on earlier and he left, so I don't know. I don't know if he's got the AK chat tonight or not. I know that usually when he does it, it's on.
Yeah, Tuesdays.
It's on Tuesday
What
night.
about 9 o'clock?
Yeah, 9 o'clock our time.
Yeah, which is Central Time. You can just
yeah.
do your
Man,
math from there.
And I'm not sure what time that is his time anymore because he's in Arizona. So I think I don't think they change anymore.
yeah.
I don't think they switch.
No, but it does. It messes up the math though when we're talking
Yeah.
about from us to them. Messes
Yeah.
up. The
Oh,
math
yeah.
Oh,
when
it
we
does.
change.
It
Well,
does.
see,
I know.
they're same as us part of the year, but when
Yeah.
we change,
They're not.
No, they're not the same as us.
No.
They're not. They're
Well, instead of a 2-hour difference,
it's
a
1 hour to 2 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
it.
there was part of the year that they were.
That's where
No.
Julie's out from
Yeah.
Maricopa,
Oh, okay.
and it's in that little.
Okay.
It's in that block. But
Yeah, I get screwed up with time zones anyway. When you start talking about different places,
Mhm.
I can't remember who's on what unless they tell me, we're on East, we're on Pacific.
Yeah. And
Then
that-
I'm with it. I can do the math
Yeah.
with that.
well,
But if you just say, well, I'm in Washington, well, I can't remember what
I think
time zone they're on.
Montana's one of those states that's either Central Time sometimes or Mountain Time sometimes. They don't switch.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean there are a few states that don't. Those, you know what? Honestly, those are the smart states.
Yeah, we
I
shouldn't even
wish-
have.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even have it.
We're like the only country in the world that still does it. It was done to save energy back in World War II, and I guess it probably helped in the 70s during the energy crunch with a Democratic
Y'all gonna
president.
get my tinfoil hats out if we start talking about that energy crunch in the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, it was yeah, it's pretty bad. I lived up in New York, and we was only maybe 30-40 minutes away from Canada, and yeah, here was gas rationing here, but yeah, if you took a ride over the bridge to Canada, no gas rationing. Something was, and it was cheaper, and their liter is smaller than our gallon.
So let's
Yeah,
get rid of
back.
the tinfoil
Okay.
and get back to the topic at hand of the shows. I assume G-Webs is doing his AK-47 Guru podcast later tonight, and there's also Hit or Miss, which comes up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I
Central
think it
Time,
is,
I
yeah.
believe.
Hit or miss is a
Uh,
good is a nice little show.
Oh yeah. And at the last couple of weeks, G-Webs just started doing a new show at noon his time, noon Arizona time. He does a show. He's doing it on the I Hate Guns channel right now, which is a channel he set up for it's like a reverse psychology sort of thing. I guess.
A parody channel.
No, it's just a
Well,
it's
yeah,
a gun,
I get it. I hate guns,
channel,
but it's
but-
about guns.
but yeah, I guess he set it up for ironic
Mhm.
reasons or something. I'm not sure what the story is behind the name, but anyway, the
Oh,
the
YouTube.
podcast that he's doing is like a him and Biker Bob, the guy from Canada that's been visiting the States. They're doing the show at noon, and they have different segments that they do. So it's kind of like a sort of a variety thing where they have a variety of topics,
Oh, very nice.
and they do segments. And so that's one that happens in the middle of the day.
Topics. There's an idea. Maybe we should come up with some topics during the week.
We have them. We just talk out our ass for an hour.
Yeah.
Well,
So
For an hour, you mean longer?
We,
than
we
an hour.
actually had some topics today. We just have talked about everything else.
I think that new
I think
new
we
show.
covered them thoroughly.
I think there's a new show, and if it ain't, I'm going to go ahead and pitch it. Yankee Marshall and James Yeager Love Fest Hour.
Okay, now. Yeah, again, I'm old. That just don't sound right.
I'm not reeling on neither one of the guys. Honestly, I'm not. Neither one of them. I like watching Yankee Marshall and I like watching Yeager stuff. I mean, this Yankee Marshall's got some funny videos.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, they're hilarious. And he's on Thursdays.
Yeah, he
Every other
does.
Thursday?
Well, I'm not sure because they keep talking about maybe doing it every Thursday, but he hasn't set that in stone yet. So, but officially, it's still every other Thursday. He does his shooting left of center.
Yeah,
and then Matt has Never Enough Ammo. He has his Guns and Geeks podcast on Monday nights, where he talks about mostly The Walking Dead, comic books.
Hey, we need to get
Game
in on
of Thrones, whatever whatever's on TV, whatever the geek shows are on TV at that time of the year.
Well, wait a minute. What do you consider a geek now? I mean,
I think you can geek out on anything.
Well, you
I was
pretty
gonna
much
say,
can.
I mean, you got your rod geek, hot rod geeks. You got your fishing
'cause,
geeks.
back in the day, I was a bit of a Trekkie.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There you go.
And now one of the programs I like to catch, and it's all in reruns now, and I hate it, is Person of Interest is kind of neat.
Oh yeah,
I like
I
that.
don't
That's
guess I've ever seen
very Orwellian, brought to life. And you know what? The worst part is people still ain't realizing it. That right now there are cities asking private individuals to allow their home security cameras.
We're going to have to take tinfoil away from
No, hold
him
on,
and
just
lock
say,
it up in that
have
cabinet
you
over
seen
there.
that? Have you seen that?
Cities to
I've
save
seen,
money.
I've seen a couple of.
On installation of cameras are asking private individuals to allow to put their feet into the city system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Samsung, 3 or 4 weeks ago, came out with a warning. If you have one of their smart TVs,
So it was longer ago than that.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, it's been
Yeah.
about what about a year now
Oh,
or
that
I
so?
don't know. It's been a while back when they.
like I said, I'm the old timer. I'm a little
Well,
slow.
it came out longer ago than they came out with it. People had already figured it out. But,
Yeah.
Be careful what you say in front of it.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you that got laptops or home computers with webcams,
Yeah.
guess what? There was a school district caught. They had the webcams turned on for when students would check them out. Now your 13-year-old daughter's borrowing a computer from school because you know what? That job you got just don't make enough to get her a new computer. And she needs it for that English project. Yeah, well, she's in her bedroom changing and left the computer on. Yeah, it was getting broadcast to the school district. Yeah.
I just got furious. I'm talking about. I felt the top of my head just burn red just now.
And that's not just it. If you got your computer on and you're Wi-Fi in it, or even hardwired to the internet, and you got a cam on it, that could be activated. That could be hacked and activated.
Well, most of the time, they've supposedly made it where they don't come on by default anymore.
Oh yeah,
But anytime you
it used to
activate
be.
something that uses
Mhm.
or that can use the camera, it automatically turns it on almost any device.
Yeah.
Every time that when I'm on lunch, a lot of times I'll drop in at Gun Channels and see if there's a live chat going on. There
You
is.
see, this is only
And
half
I'll hop
tinfoil
in
hat.
for a little while I'm on lunch. When I join that chat on my phone, it automatically turns my camera on and starts feeding my camera, and so I have to switch it off because it lags the hell out of me with that camera turned on. So I switched the camera off.
A lot more bit packets going.
Like here right now on my laptop. See, on my desktop, I don't have a camera on my desktop, so it doesn't do it. But on my laptop, when I connect to it, it automatically brings my camera up and starts feeding my camera. And see,
Yep, it is. It's on. I'm watching them. Hey, there you go, Daryl.
hey,
Daryl.
there you go.
Hey, Bob, just in case you ain't tapped into our cameras yet.
Good luck. But yeah, it's that whole thing. I mean, even aside from just automatically turning on and whatnot, it's really nothing for half these programs I put on my phone. The first thing the thing says is it wants to take control of my camera.
It wants to give out your location all the time.
Yeah, your microphone and all this stuff, you know, and it's I guess it's one of those deals where you have to pick and choose what's worth it. And I'm putting the rabbit ears up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, we are in tinfoil hat territory, but then at the same time, we're really not in tinfoil hat territory.
Well, it's only tinfoil hat because of I guess the connotations that you're speculating on.
That
because
the evils it could be used
is
for.
actual, you know, it actually does that.
Yeah.
Actually, when you connect to anything that's capable of using it, it's by default
Gonna use it.
Pretty much, it's gonna use it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can see that when you use those applications, the first thing you have to do is, if you're not wanting to use the camera, you have to switch the camera off. Some of them have gone in and made it where they make it the opposite.
You have to turn it on.
You have to turn it on.
Yep.
But a lot of times, a lot of them aren't. I mean, and a lot of security gurus out there, their recommendation is to put a piece of tape over your camera.
That's what I would say. Yeah, that's
Julie does that
all the time. To put a piece of tape over your camera.
Go get some painter's tape. And don't leave the gooey stuff behind.
Me, what I do is, when I'm using my laptop,
a rag, a napkin,
I make sure that I'm sitting on my bed in my underoos eating Cheetos.
Yeah, with your tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, this has been a pretty good week, I think. We talked about some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We may not have talked about some cool stuff. We may have just blown through an hour and not talked about anything.
Yeah, if you want,
we probably did. I mean, we did talk about ear and eye protection a little bit.
Yeah.
And I wanted to touch on. I mean, we're a couple of minutes over, but we
do that anyways. We started late again.
Yeah. Well, we didn't. You
did.
You did.
But I was wanting to touch on like new gun owners and intimidation that they a lot of times face, because you have those the militant and those
can I just say it? The brain dead.
Well, yeah,
they're
brain dead, but they're
the guys
that one track.
Mine, it's got to be a 1911. Glocks just won't do.
You got those guys. You've got the people who think that you have to train. The guy just wants to go and shoot his gun. He wants to shoot some cans in the backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not. Maybe he's just a plinker.
Yeah, give him time. He'll evolve.
He's not trying to be that kind of. I mean,
gun owner.
There's so many different kinds of gun owners out there. We talked about it last week.
Don't get down on the different gun owners. Embrace each other.
The guy just wants to shoot, or the guy is just learning about firearms.
Give him some time. You didn't
Don't
learn it
throw him
overnight.
into basic training.
Yeah.
And I mean,
we get them all the time in here. People that just starting out in general, we'll go through some basic safety with them, and and then they're kind of out on their own.
Or how about those video game commandos?
Yeah, well, that's kind of the same sort of thing. Which those guys, in a way, are they're probably geared toward a more of a gamer type, like 3-gun or something.
Yeah,
that would suit them great. And a lot of times that's what those guys go for. But a lot of times they are the ones who are guilty of intimidating a new gun owner.
Giving them too much information or expecting too much out of them.
They think that you're supposed to be, or they put the idea into
you need to jump into the deep end of the pool and know everything right away.
He needs to go out here and train, go through combat rifle and fighting pistol, fighting rifle, and all these different courses. when
Really,
he's barely even picked up a gun to start with.
yeah, really,
Yeah.
let him dip his
Yeah.
toes in the pool and wait around in the shallow end for a while and figure out which direction he wants to
A
go.
lot of times that turns people off, especially if they were reluctant to begin with, if maybe they were kind of on the verge of being anti-gun,
Yeah.
and somebody kind of got them, to where they were interested.
Put a bad
in
taste in there, and then someone else puts a bad taste in their mouth.
Somebody took them shooting with them, and they liked it, but they're still really shy. They're still gun shy.
Mhm.
And gun shops can be guilty of this too,
Oh,
Well, yeah.
And
just as much
in
as
both
anybody
in
else.
both directions. You walk into the new gun owner, the new person interested in owning a gun walks in. He's read this and that online. He's heard this and that from his buddies, and he walks into a gun shop where the guy behind the counter just knows it all and just unloads on him and doesn't bother to see just how educated this this gun buyer is. Or you got just the opposite. You have someone who's just getting interested in guns. They come into a gun store. The person behind the counter doesn't know a damn thing about guns. I mean, you can get turned off both ways, or even worse, some of the guys that hang out in the gun store. Each of them's an expert, but it's only their gun or their type of shooting.
Yeah.
And the store owner's not smart enough to tell them guys, hey, look, I like our discussions. It gets interesting. But when I'm talking to a customer, you stay out of it. I mean,
You know what, man? Thankfully, though, the people that hang around here, everybody's pretty. They know the.
Well,
this is
most of the time. I try to kind of step back a little bit when I want to say something.
But what's nice is you
Yeah.
have some information that me and Daryl might have not have sometimes, and it's nice when you interject.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times when I'm not trying to interject personal preference either. It's like some kind of, because I do have a background in firearms, so it's kind of a and usually it's just to like back up what you guys are saying.
Well, me and
anyway,
Daryl come from different angles a lot because I spent a lot of time safety and training new gun owners, and
I just come from shooting.
Yeah,
I mean literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I stick to how the insides of the gun works. I couldn't tell you the make and models of most of the guns I work on, but Daryl can.
Well, it's I like Sean being around because you do come also a gunsmith background too.
Yeah.
So it's real nice, and they sometimes when you're not up here and somebody's saying something, I'm glad you're here. No, I'm dead serious because I'm talking about if somebody's got a 1911 question, I'm probably going to call you.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yep.
I mean, it's just
or they're talking about a particular type of feed issue.
Oh yeah. But it's all real cool. Just and I think the big thing with that is if you're in a gun shop and the owner's talking, just because you have 75 AR-15s at home that you've only fired 3 rounds out of each, don't start talking.
Yeah.
The gun owner, the gun shop owner does not want you to be talking.
And some of them are either too polite or just too ignorant to tell you not to talk.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I think it's just that they don't want to piss one customer off and then end up looking like, come off as an ass or something.
Yeah.
And then,
well, they don't have to. They don't have.
The new customer may see that as you being an ass.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to call them out right then and there. Wait till you can get them off to the side and say, hey,
it's
dude.
kind of a difficult thing to traverse sometimes.
It's time and place.
Yeah.
Get them off to the side by the coffee pot and say, hey, dude, look, I value your opinion on some things, but this is my store.
Yeah.
You're not employed here. You need to take a back seat. Yeah. Unless I look to you and say, hey, you got anything to add to that? And we'll do that. Well, with some of our hangout guys. We'll say, hey, Jason, man, you want us, because we know Jason is an AR guy. You want to add anything?
Yeah.
Or if Ken's around.
Or Nelson with his revolvers.
Yeah.
Oh, Ken, man, holy crap.
Yeah, don't get Ken started. You're probably there for an hour listening to his. Now, I'm a gunsmith, and so is he, and he's an old school. We're talking, he's retired from the business. And
he was retired back when.
Yeah, well, the thing about Ken is,
I was in the business,
when we were in short pants.
He'd come in with a gun in a box. He's like, Got any parts for this?
Well, the thing about Ken is though, when he starts talking,
Listen.
because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's got some.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
wow.
Yeah, knows
He blows
a lot of
my mind.
stuff, Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, man. I think maybe we ought to.
Well, I learn a little bit every time he opens
Oh,
his
I
mouth
do too.
around
I do
me,
too.
yeah.
But I think next week maybe we should start with how to ease your toes into gun ownership.
Ooh,
I
from
think that'd probably
which
be a
angle?
good,
All angles.
or even dealing with a new gun owner and not intimidating
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
While you want to keep them safe, but you don't want to intimidate them with trying to throw them into something that they may not be ready
Yeah,
for.
and it's not cool to give some little 5'6" girl that weighs 100 pounds soaking wet a monster 12 gauge with a Magnum load,
No, it's not.
or a 500 Magnum and watch her shoot and laugh at her. No, or even a guy or a young kid.
That's me.
Yeah.
I mean, those videos I see, I'd like to be around so I could slap some of those people in the head.
Well, hey, dude, I've let several people shoot my 500.
Yeah.
But that was when I had that big supply of 325 grain.
Yeah.
Now that I'm out of that and I'm up
The
into
light loads, yeah. Now he's into the real heavy stuff.
Now I'm like, no, I don't have any ammunition here, or because it's just not cool.
Yeah, Daryl shoots a hand howitzer. That's all. Not much recoil.
Barbecue gun.
It is my barbecue gun. Yeah.
Sunday go to meeting gun.
So I guess maybe next week we could just start with that. Just start with how to buy a gun. Maybe that's a good topic.
Yeah,
how do you buy a gun?
Yeah, I got some advice on that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
depending on the gun. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is not the advice on what gun to buy, because obviously that's going to be the person.
Oh yeah, that is personal, but there
there's
is some advice. Well, there
that.
is some advice on that I have.
What I'm talking about is what is a 4473?
Yeah.
What to expect when you're buying a gun, what you need to bring into the gun shop in some states. We're not going to get into Connecticut and New York.
We are not lawyers.
We can probably defer to to other people at gun channels.
We are not lawyers or ATF agents.
From state to state.
There you go.
And if people had those questions and there was somebody that was
lived in that state,
that was here,
yeah, that's a great thing about gun channels.
Yeah,
they can.
If there was somebody that was here at that time in the chat, then we could defer to them.
Yeah,
and get them to give them more information.
I'm sure there's.
You don't realize it. Being a gun person, you don't realize that people don't know what you're talking about when you say 4473.
Yeah.
Or when you talk about a NICS check, or they just somebody that doesn't buy, that has never bought a gun, does not know.
Yeah.
Or maybe the good old boy that has never bought one at a gun shop.
Well, yeah, there's that too. I mean, the only guns he's got is the ones granddaddy gave him, and the one that he bought from somebody else.
Or you
and
get
he's in a free state where he can do that.
Yeah. Or you get the guy that just moved to a free state from, say, someplace like New York City, which not only has state laws but city laws.
There was a guy the other month, I guess, probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
I was at Walmart and Bobby was back there, the department manager in Sporting Goods was back there talking to a guy, and he was selling him a gun. The guy had not all that long moved here from, I want to think he had moved here from New York, but
don't I have to have
permits? Not a free state.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got to register it.
He had been here long enough that he already had his driver's license changed over and everything, but he hadn't been here all that long. And Bobby was helping him, explain to him how to fill the form out and everything. Been years since the guy had bought a gun, but it hadn't been long enough that he didn't have to go through a bunch of BS up there to do it. So the guy was flabbergasted
on how easy it was.
How easy it was to
the way it should be by the Constitution.
The fact that he could buy it that day, and and it was only going to take 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, being that
as long as the credit card clears.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really do think we should start out next week with that. And I'll tell you what, it's a long enough discussion. They'll probably take the whole show next week.
Hey, man, we can just spend the whole show on a 4473.
Yeah. We'll go over it real quick, and we'll go through what the questions actually mean.
Now there again, we're going to have to say we ain't lawyers and we ain't ATF.
No, but it's easy. Those questions on there are easy enough. They're
Yeah, there's one question on there that if I ever see someone check the yes box, they're probably not going to know what happened. They're going to be, I'm going to be on them right there.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, there's 2 on there.
There's 2.
Oh yeah. We'll get into that.
Yeah,
next week.
yeah.
We'll get into that next week.
But yeah, there's I think it's good to go over all that because of there are a lot of people out there that just they do not have any clue.
Misinformation too.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of that.
Every
going
time
around
you do
right
a
now.
background check, your guns are getting registered to your name.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the whole thing with people not realizing because the media has told them that things happen a certain way. And so they think that things happen a certain way, you know, like the whole thing of being able to buy a gun online without a background check. And, you know, if you want to get technical,
There's things
with it,
worse than guns you can buy
then-
online without a background check and get it shipped to your house.
you know, there's ways that people get around that by using the internet as a means of classified ad. You know, if you
Yeah.
find a gun for sale on Craigslist,
No different than your
and
yard
meet the guy
sale.
at McDonald's, then yeah, of course, you know, you've just bypassed the background check. But if you're buying from a retailer online that is legally selling guns, you have to.
You're
have it
doing the
shipped to you
background
at the
check
field
someplace.
and do a background check.
Yeah.
That's just more of that stuff that, you know, I mean,
Yeah, and shame on the media. I'm old enough to remember that the media used to actually stick up for our rights sometimes and point out when they were being trampled on. Now they're the ones doing the trampling.
Well, thankfully, welcome to the new media, folks.
yeah,
Right here.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, there's some people that hate people like us that do this.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, where we at?
We're at
We're about an
quarter
hour.
after, so
Yeah.
Quarter after?
yeah.
All right. Well, I guess get as places any.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is Daryl Qualls with Andalusia Armory.
Tracy Schmidt,
And Sean Carter, and we thank you for tuning in this evening.
keep your powder dry. We just might need it.
Shot Talk. See you next week.